All right. Earlier this week, I think it is episode 67 of the Talking Shit podcast, we talked about the Silicon Valley Bank meltdown. And I thought it would be a good opportunity to do this sort of like a test of a really cool presentation by a good friend of mine, Justin Millen, on Fireside.com. Now, we had a pretty good test when we went over set scheme 1 a couple weeks ago, and we had, I don't know, it was a lot of fun. We did a lot in terms of kind of picking each other's brains here on the platform, and so I thought, hey, it's apropos. It is apropos that we talk about money. And so we're going to look at this here. We may or may not have Captain Paul here to join us. But Dr. Evil is here. If you look at the little descriptor down here, www.startfireside.com. If you want to check out some of the presentations that are there that are meant to kind of guide us in having meaningful conversations with the people we work with and the people that we value in our lives. All right. So Traditionalist is here. How you doing? Happy Friday. Yeah, I got a pretty busy Friday, man. Pretty busy Friday. Hope everything is well with you. All right. So we're just going to kind of get into the introduction here. All right. Right here on startfireside.com. Money is one of the uncomfortable conversations that families and friends tend to avoid. It is essential to discuss what we know and don't know about saving and finances. It may be difficult to expose our faults or ignorance about a topic that overwhelmingly dictates our lives. We put together this guide to get the conversation started and help create some comfort while improving our understanding and empowering ourselves when it comes to money. I think that it is very true that discussions of money definitely puts people on edge, gets people instantly feeling defensive. The prevailing thought is that many of us spend our money frivolously. We don't save enough, we don't invest enough. And so it is, it's definitely something that is a struggle. And so I think that it'll be a pretty good interactive live stream for us to do together. Traditionalist is here. Everything all right? Been a busy week altogether. I'd say the same thing for me. Traditionalist getting into his fitness. I was just checking out Google Maps to plot a cycling route to get my cardio minutes in this week. We have Catherine Anna Hauserman. How are you doing today? Good to see you. All right, so we're going to just kind of get in here, and as people kind of file into the live stream, hopefully you guys can kind of follow along. The Blind Bat is here. How are you doing today, good sir? The more money people have, the more money people spend. I know I am guilty of this. Now, you always, when you're broke, you're thinking, when I'm not broke, I'm going to do these things. And then you're not broke. And then you do other things. So this is definitely something that plagues a lot of people in a consumer society. All right, so let's get started here. Also, remember, this is kind of a test as well. So I may be kind of critiquing some of the UI or the UX. This isn't really for you guys. This is for Justin Millen, who is the father of this project. So shout out to him and his lovely family. How are you doing, Justin? Okay, so we probably need a larger button here so that it makes it easier to know how to go to the next page. Now, I know how to go to the next page because of when we did the set scheme 1. So it'll be this little arrow over here for the next page. And the arrow is pointed down, which is strange. But yeah, Seditionalist says, I don't know if you've been broke long enough, you start living frugal, even if you got the money, or at least that's my experience. I think a lot of people who are very comfortable with their existence, they would agree with you. People uncomfortable. When you're broke, you're dreaming of all the nice things that other people have that you don't. I'm definitely one of those people. I'm not going to front. All right, let's get into it. Oh, there's a reason why the arrows point up and down, because this one scrolls up and down. Okay. Money is one of the uncomfortable conversations that family and friends tend to avoid, but it is essential to discuss what we know and don't know about money. It may also be difficult to expose our faults or ignorance about a topic that overwhelmingly dictates our lives. We put together this guide to get the conversation started and help create some comfort while improving our understanding of our understanding and empowering ourselves when it comes to money. Okay. I do want to introduce somebody who's pretty good with his money. He is known as Captain Paul. How are you doing today, sir?
What's going on, man? Sorry, I had to change out some bandages and shit, so it took a little bit longer.
No, he is still recovering from hip surgery that was largely successful.
Yep. So sorry about that. Took a little bit longer than expected. So talk about money. What's going on?
Yeah, we're gonna, again, it's one of those difficult conversations about fiscal responsibility and knowledge, right? Brian Bat says holidays make people spend more money than they have to spend. When the holidays go, they're broke. And one of the things that is important to note is that self-termination rates go up after this period because people are in financial ruin. Divorce filings also go up because people are in financial ruin. Buying stuff that they don't need for people who don't need whatever is being bought. So, that's something that needs to kind of be factored in. It's definitely a cold truth here on TSP. All right. So these are the ground rules, right? And I have to repeat them because Captain Paul is here and he's stupid. Focused. Choose a group member to be the presenter to keep the group focused on the topic. Respectful. I think I failed that one, right? Listen first, think second, then speak. Be kind to each other. Oh, I got to be kind to this mofo. And refrain from judgments and ridicule. I already failed. I failed. And finite. The session should be kept to 60 minutes or less. Be sure to allow time for each member to participate. So you guys know the 60 minutes or less doesn't necessarily apply to us here on the live stream. For people who are meeting in small groups, you definitely want to make sure that if you are going to administer this presentation to your friends and or family, that you set a time that will keep people from mentally checking out. All right? Okay. Terms and conditions. Begin and end with respect. This is often a difficult topic to have objectively and respectfully. If your group is not used to talking about sensitive topics, extra care should be taken to make sure everyone is respected and allowed to speak in turn or be silent when appropriate.
Oh, shit. You're going to fail that.
It would be wise to set turn order and determine how your group will keep the conversation educational and enjoyable for all. Now, some of you may not know this, but a certain someone who co-hosts this podcast does have a degree that is kind of finance
Yeah,
angle.
business with a focus in accounting. Um, yeah, I mean, I have a couple degrees. One essentially is useless because it's more towards my career, and then a business degree with a focus in accounting. So I had to kind of do all these CPA type classes and stuff of that nature. So it's good. I'll say this, and I'm not promoting college because I feel like some of it's a scam. But if you want to educate yourself, I would definitely take some classes, some good financial classes, because it really does help you understand the market a bit more, and how your money can, how you can kind of make your money work for you, right? So, but yeah.
All right. As we dive in, why we don't and why we should. Money is often not talked about due to ignorance, discomfort, or cultural norms. We
Mm.
recognize that those who are better at talking about money are often better at managing it. How do we get started? Take turns discussing the topics and questions we provide. The presenter may choose turn order for answering questions, set a foundation for future discussions, and empower yourselves to make better decisions about your finances.
Mm.
All right, so let's get started. Question 1. Is it difficult for you to talk about money? Are there topics concerning money that are off limits for you? Is this something you are looking to overcome?
Mm. I mean, want me to start off?
Right there for you, Cap.
Not really. Actually, it's funny enough. uh, Money to me is the best thing to talk about, right? If you want to have a fruitful conversation, and especially in relationships, I think you might agree with me on that. I think relationships, it is very important to talk finances and stuff of that nature. I'm very lucky. My wife, she's really, really good with her money, and we're able to kind of have good dialogue regarding it. And yeah, just kind of having a good game plan, certain investments, but money, I think, is definitely not off topic in my household. What about you?
We have powwows fairly often. I'm the one in the house that's probably the least fiscally responsible, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
I always recognize the importance of fiscal responsibility, but for the most part, I think that the ladies kind of rein in some of my more ambitious habits,
Mm.
and I think that it's really it really has helped us to be able to talk about other things too, because I think money is probably one of the more difficult things to talk about. There's
Yeah.
religion, there's sex, there's all these other things, but money really is one of those things that gets people on the defensive, because I mean that's how we judge people, right? We judge people
Yep.
on what they have and how much money they have.
Yep.
Um,
Absolutely.
yeah.
There's something I want to talk. I saw a blind bat comment right here. Why do people that go to college for all this education usually all the ones that get conned out of their money? Um, in my opinion, when something seems like a very quick route to get money quickly, people will lose all of their rational brain, all of their education, because they want to find shortcuts in life. That's why these Ponzi schemes or these, get quick rich schemes are so wildly successful in these courses that a lot of these influencers sell. Because, listen, regardless how much education you have, there's that dopamine in your brain where it's like, oh shit, I can make that. Oh man, I could be a millionaire too. Rational thought goes out the window. So I think a lot of it isn't just education, but it's more the naivety of the individual. Personally,
Mhm.
what are your thoughts on that?
Uh, um, I'm right on point with you. I I'm right on point with you. So this just says no issue with talking about money, including things like income, mortgage, price of car, etc. It's funny that you mentioned this additional list. here in the United States, we have a little bit of a revolution when it comes to how people talk about their income. Uh, employers do not want employers do not want the employees to know what other employees are making because it puts the advantage squarely in the hands of the employer.
Yep.
If you can get somebody to, if you can get two people to work and you had to pay, 7 for this guy, but some other guy was willing to work for 3.5 when one job is worth 10. If you're paying the equivalent of, if you're paying two people the equivalent of one salary, you make more profit.
Yep.
But what happens when the guy that makes 7 looks online and says that the going rate is actually 10? And then the other guy that's working alongside him who's making 3.5 realize he's supposed to be getting 10. What kind of position does that put the employer in? We don't really care, right? Because most of us aren't employers. We care more about what the implications are for ourselves. So I think that being open about how much money you're making is really important. It should either behoove you to get more skills so you can make more money, or to put a little bit of pressure on that employer to pay you what you're worth.
Absolutely.
All right. Blind Bat says, I invest my money in food because food has went up so much I can't afford much of it.
Yeah, the food. Yeah, grocery bills have gone through the roof. I don't know how bad it is still in New York, but last time I was shopping there, especially during the pandemic, man, like felt like it just doubled in prices. It was crazy.
Yeah, and they tried to blame it on a bunch of external stuff when they were just profiteering because when they have their earnings reports, whoa, we made record profits after we proclaimed doom and hell and high water.
You know what's crazy, especially in a city like New York, is I remember toilet paper even being like 2 times, sometimes 3 times its actual usual price.
Yep.
And it was just wild because I'm like, dude, New York, a harbor. I see the container ships coming in. They're getting offloaded. Like all the goods are there. They're just still like upmarking the shit like crazy. It's just absolutely. And egg prices, yes, that was a big thing. Eggs went through the roof, and that's crazy. It's still that bad, but man, these businesses will make a profit. They don't give a shit.
Seditionalist says, luckily, living in a culture where your social status is less depending on the amount of money you have or earned. Where is it that you are? What the hell? Mrs. Evil says, I can't think of a time where the subject of money was off limits or a subtopic that was off limits in this home. I probably have to agree with her there. Catherine says, if it sounds too good to be true, it's most likely is. Yep. So this says the eggs also come from Ukraine.
Oh, yeah, man. Most likely. Where's that $1 billion?
Yeah. Of course he explains. No, yeah, definitely. Everything. They did the same thing with fuel.
Yeah.
So,
Well, the funny thing with fuel, I don't want it to completely go off to a side conversation, but I do laugh because I work in the industry. When they said there was like a fuel shortage, there really wasn't. Mm-hmm. It's like you have ULCCs, VLCCs, which ULCCs, ultra large cargo carrier, and then VLCCs, very large cargo carrier. See, here in the maritime industry, we just like to keep the terminology very simplistic, but like billions and billions of like gallons of fuel just off the coast, which I kind of laughed. They're like, oh, we have this massive shortage of like, okay. I mean, whatever you want to tell the general population. I kind of just get a kick out of that.
Yeah.
But shoot.
Yeah, they on that bullshit, man.
Yeah.
They definitely on that bullshit. Question 2. Does the word money have an effect on you? Is it the root of all evil? Is it connected to happiness? What is good and bad about it in your opinion?
Well, money to me definitely corrupts individuals, right? When you go into a more high-powered position with more money, I feel like more often than not, if you are offered a lump sum, people will forego their morals to, do whatever is necessary. But to be fair, it is also it is tied to happiness. Is why it's kind of a conundrum to me, because you can buy more things, you can live in better places, live in better areas, you can buy that car, you can buy that house. So it's there's good things where you can get things that you want to in life and kind of support yourself and like buy things that do make you happy. But then on the opposite side of it is money is the reason for corruption in this world, and why you see a lot of politicians foregoing all of their morals just for a quick dollar. So that would be my take on it.
I'm going to give you some pushback, Cap.
Oh.
What if I told you that money is the tool that we use to expose the corruption that is within us? I don't think people become corrupt because of the presence of money. It exposes the corruption that we already have in us when money is in our environment. I think a lot of people want to believe they are virtuous, and that's fine. But then you find out what you're really about when shit is on the line. So, us guys, right? We always want to believe that our women are always going to be loyal to us, right?
Mm-hmm.
But unless like the hottest, richest guy, they're left alone with them for hours or days on end, how do you know? You get what I'm saying?
I mean, I get where you're coming from, but I think we also have to take into account, while what you are saying does have a valid point, the slight pushback I would have is that every human being is unique, and there is a lot of people that do turn down money to stick with their morals. But you're
well,
all
then
right.
those people have those morals. But then the
Right.
people who don't, it shows when the money is there. A good example of that would be, what's that politician's name?
All of them.
No, there's a very specific one in my mind because of how she positioned herself when she got hired. The Hispanic one, the hot one.
Oh, AOC.
Oh yeah. What does AOC stand for again?
Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. Yeah.
Now the thing is, she tried to do the whole, J Lo, my love don't cost a thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
When she ran for her political position, she was touting how she was from the Bronx. But then when you ask her so-called neighbors at the address that she gave, they never even saw her there. And when she had the opportunity to date guys that, weren't, of the working class from her neighborhood, when she got an opportunity to find a rich white man, that's exactly what she did. And when she had the opportunity to live in some luxury resident in DC, she took that opportunity. But she was talking all this about, how she's the salt of the earth and how she's so humble and how she's a woman of the people. But every chance she got when it came to procuring luxuries and money for herself, she's taken every opportunity while still claiming to be this virtuous person. Now, I'm not saying that you can't be virtuous and try to go for money. But the thing is that what you do in the presence of money is the real barometer of how virtuous you actually are, rather than how virtuous you try to portray yourself to be.
I would definitely agree AOC is a case study of somebody that doesn't practice what they preach. And I would kind of even have to say this, though. The only good attribute to me that I see from her is that she is currently married or dating a redhead. That's it. That's all I see. My people are dying, so any type of furthering of my people, I'm fine with. So, but no, like she just kind of, she definitely took advantage of a situation, and she just used the story, like most politicians do, as a means to get elected. And did she actually care about her constituents? Absolutely not. And most politicians don't. So
no, she cares about a narrative. She doesn't care about really any people, in my opinion.
Yeah, she cares
I don't know
about
her personally, but
she cares about taxing the rich, just not her richness. So.
Right, and that's evidence. How much do you think that dress cost that she wore at that gala that David Manner was talking
thousands
about?
Of dollars.
You get what I'm saying? Like you want to talk about tax the rich and eat the rich and all of that. You're the rich.
Yep.
Mrs. E. Well, traditionalist says people say money can't buy you happiness. I disagree. Mrs. Evil follows up by saying money helps me buy coffee, plants, lots of plants, and and gas, so we can go places. Just some of the things that make me happy. Joy Walking says, I believe money can make me happy if I want specific happiness that could be bought by money. So, but money is and they're both Jews. Oh, AOC and George Santos. Oh, what a match made in. Oh, wait, that's right. He's gay. Okay. Jeremy Lewis is here. How you doing? It's good to see you. Right. All right. Yeah, so seditionalist. Trump said that he was self-made and everybody could if they just followed his example. All he needed was a father that was a multimillionaire. He could just get a small loan of $1 million. It could have been the 60s, the 70s, the 80s.
Listen, I'll be very honest with you. That fucking
That's worth like $4 million today,
quote,
right?
Yeah, I mean that quote is so tone deaf. But today, it's that technically today that would be a small loan.
Well,
yeah. I mean, no, I know. I'm not defending it. It's just like, man, it's just how much money has lessened in its value over the years. Like, really, it's kind of alarming.
Yeah, it's it's, I just but again, I think Trump is also related to George Santos, probably one of his love children with some with oh wait, that's right. I don't want to make too many jokes because I think the one part of a lie that wasn't a lie is that his mother is deceased. Okay,
Yeah.
so I'm going to leave that alone. All right, so Citizen says a lack of money can cause stress and depression. If it doesn't, it still limits you in your tools. If you're creative enough, you can overcome that, but that doesn't mean that money can't buy you happiness. Now, let me tell you, man, I'm one of those people. Sometimes, like the winter time is a slow time for me business wise, because the people that can afford personal training tend to be pretty inconsistent about training, because you're like, listen, I got the money to pay for you. I got the money to pay, to go on nice trips and to go, see my family halfway around the world. And, and so, when I don't work, it takes me longer to get paid again. You already know how it goes. You've been a client of mine, right? You bought I think a half a package.
Yep.
And then you hurt your hip. Have I gotten paid since? Like, so when people get hurt, when people go on vacation, it takes me that much longer to get paid again, right? So you mix in the seasonal affective disorder that most people have on some level, mild to moderate to severe. I'm probably a little bit more on the severe side. And then that the money is not coming and you're worried about if you're going to make this payment or that payment on time. It causes a lot of stress. Your feelings of well-being are severely inhibited. And I've gone through it. Let me fucking tell you. And there have been, I think I've had one winter where I had no money problems and I went places and I did things and everything was great, right? You wouldn't have known it was the wintertime. So I think that we have to be very honest with ourselves when it comes to the role that money plays in our lives. I mean, scientists have done a lot of studies on what parts of your brain light up when somebody even mentions money or you even smell money, for goodness sakes, right? So whether we want to admit it or not, I think that a lot of our scruples and our feelings of well-being, our perception of self, money does have a huge effect on that. What do you got to say about that, Paul?
I mean, I definitely agree. I think with you don't have money and you're kind of tied up against it. It definitely adds a whole different level of stress to your life, and just kind of can make you miserable. I mean, people that just say, "Oh, you don't need money to be happy," I mean, that's kind of a lie. Let's be real. You know what I mean? Like, things that you enjoy in life do cost money, unless you're just out in the woods, butt ass naked, bleaching your asshole. You know,
Hmm.
there's really, like, legitimately you need you need money to survive. So absolutely, um, there's truth in the statement that money does buy you happiness.
Right. And I think that even when people push back on it, and I think that somewhere deep in myself, I want to push back on it, but you know what this platform is built on, people. Cold truths.
Or hot takes and cold truths.
So, fucking up the tagline again. Fucking up the tagline. Okay?
Yeah, suck a dick.
Yeah, definitely use that for the promotional material, Justin. Absolutely.
Oh shit.
So you know that this platform is built on cold truths and
You
and
know I do that. You know I do that just to piss you off now, right? It's like I purposely say it that way.
you
Because when it
know,
bothers you, you come in and dish the shit out of me.
you
So I'm just
know,
gonna,
you
yeah.
know, you know, you
Oh
know.
man. I mean, listen. The white man's here now, boys. So let's keep going. You know, we are a half and half magic power hour. Welcome.
Yo, I was about to say that other word again that we can't say.
Yeah. Oh shit. So
That sixth letter of the alphabet is a tricky one. It's a tricky one,
it is a
man.
tricky one.
Oh
But
my god. So this just says if they got the money to afford a personal trainer, they got the money to afford Ozempic. I don't even know what that is. Is it a place? Is it a
oh no,
drug? It
that's like a
sounds like a drug.
medicine. No, that's a medicine. It's a medicine. I forget exactly what it was for, but I've seen that commercial, I believe.
Okay, I was gonna say like that looks like a pharmaceutical. David Banner says people say that quote the happiest people are poor end quote are stupid as hell. Like yeah, do you think people are gonna sit in misery? Like of course you're broke. You're gonna find creature comforts of some Paul silencing more black
Like,
voices. I mean, this is what happens when you start talking about money, y'all.
listen, the white man can only have advice about money. You're right. Correct. Jesus.
Touche.
Touche.
Touche. Piece of shit. Okay, so question 3. What are you feeling? Now that we have started talking about money, what emotions are coming to the surface?
Just
So let's talk
depression.
about it.
Yeah,
Why?
just depression and sadness because you're like constantly beating down a poor white man on this show, and you don't understand the struggle of my fucking people, and it hurts me deep in my soul because quite frankly, um, you don't know my people, you don't know me, and for you to go out of your way to destroy me every single time, it's just rude. But I mean, no, I feel fine. We're talking about money. I think when you kind of stay I think when you kind of stay within the frame of having a really good economic conversation, it's fine. Now,
Mm-hmm.
emotions can come to the surface if you are either stressed out or you can't handle more. How would I say this? Maybe intense or more difficult conversations. But I mean, I'm always fine with talking money. Do you need a break? Is this too much? Is the white man beating you down too much, Evil?
I mean, you guys have been, holding my people back, for like 600 years. You know what I'm saying? So,
Yo, you got on those boats.
yeah, we thought it was a cruise, man. We thought it was a cruise. Um, yeah. So, Jeremy says, I don't know, Paul. I've been feeling very marginalized these days as a middle class white man.
Mm.
But yeah, $1,600 a month for Ozempic. Oh my God. Wow. Wow.
Ah, shit,
Insulin
bro.
prices have come down, but it's a shortage on it because rich people are using something they don't need. Just buy a treadmill.
Mm.
Sedition is saying, talking about money brings out a bit of jealousy towards the people that were born with a silver spoon. It feels unfair, even if they can't help being born rich.
Mm.
Oh, quick sidebar. Um, you guys really need to get on
Patreon.
our Patreon.
Straight
We
savage content.
yeah, we uploaded our very first second attempt at a first
No,
episode.
third attempt actually.
And no, because we did actually record an
No,
episode
no,
one
dude.
last
We
year.
record. No, we
We
recorded
recorded
two.
two.
We
Yeah,
do.
we
Yes, I
recorded an
have.
episode one. We recorded an episode two. So this is our second time recording in episode one, and our second time recording in episode two will be coming sometime this
Oh,
weekend, probably Sunday. And so the way that we're doing it is that all of the odd number low T shows will be on the shitter level
right.
of our Patreon, which is $5 a month. And every episode will be available to people in the dog water tier at $10 a month. We will also have some sort of like a TSP After Dark type of segment that Mrs. Evil will be participating in. That will also be at the dog water level. So, yeah.
Yep.
All right.
Definitely check
Look
it
out for that. We have a lot. We have a lot of content. Also, Captain Paul is going to be moderating some debates between the former president, Donald Trump, who is the father of George Santos, and the stepfather of AOC, and and President Biden, who's probably sniffing a 10-year-old girl's head somewhere in Washington, D.C.
And listen, the next episode that is currently being uploaded, it's actually about it's a relationship based episode with the presidents with a guest appearance by Sneeko. So definitely make sure to check it out. It's a really gonna be a fun time. So let's keep going, yeah.
And if you guys just want to just support the platform so that when me and Captain Paul have these difficult discussions about money at the noob level, $2 a month, it will be very, very appreciated if you supported the platform in that way by joining the lowest level of our Patreon. We're going to have exclusive events and exclusive content and access for, at different levels for the next two tiers. But at least at the noob level at $2 a month, we really would appreciate if you helped us have easier money conversations. Okay, now, how do my feelings about talking about the Patreon? I feel a lot better, Cap.
Oh, that's good. That's good. I'm glad.
You know what I'm saying? Talking about the jealousy part of it. Yeah, I gotta say, man. You know what? I'm gonna give the floor to Cap. What do you think about this?
I mean, pick yourself up by your bootstraps.
Wow, that's
I love saying
the alphabet again.
I love saying these phrases that pisses him off. No, but
oh man,
I could get to a certain degree where somebody is built or someone is born into family that's like millionaires or billionaires. I could definitely understand why there is a little bit of resentment because of the unfairness of it. But at the same time, I mean, I feel like some of that's even kind of stagnated down to people that are just like upper middle class, and it's just because someone is wealthy doesn't mean, I mean, if anything, they'd probably have some decent financial advice, and yeah, I mean, I don't know. Just kind of, if you want to have a genuine conversation, you should be talking with everybody throughout, like any economic class, in my opinion, so you can get a more well-rounded worldview. That's how I've always looked at it.
Sorry, I'm a little distracted. Wow, this one hurts.
But
this one hurts. Wow, that loss definitely hurts, man. So many of you know Lance Reddick as the police lieutenant from The Wire. Most recently, he is known. His name was Cedric Daniels.
Mm.
Most recently, he was the concierge at the Continental Hotel that was very kind to John Wick. He passed away.
Mm.
They're claiming that it's natural causes at age 60.
Damn. So you must have been in some bad health then. 'Cause that's pretty young.
The dude was probably one of the most physically fit people that you've ever seen in your life.
Really? Then I wonder
Yeah,
what happened.
and that really sucks.
Well, condolences to him and his family.
For real, man.
Hopefully they can kind of find peace throughout these very difficult times, and hopefully the media respects the privacy that is going to be that should be respected for the family's sake. So that's unfortunate. Condolences, and hope everyone kind of personally affected and even fans affected could reflect and just remember all the great times and moments that they had with him or shows that they enjoyed with him in it. So that's sad.
Yeah, he was definitely like one of those low key. Uh, I watch. You know, wow. And I was thinking because the John Wick series. Like I loved him in The Wire, right?
Mm.
But wow, he was so great in The Wire. But there's I tell people that watch the Wire, um, I I tell people who watch The Wire that there are different moments in the film series that really make it. You don't really look to action films as the place that you're going to go to get great acting, great writing, like real drama.
Mm.
But there are moments in the series that really hit you. There's a moment where um Common's character in the second film
Mm.
and John get into a really gritty hand-to-hand combat scene um, outside the catacombs,
Mm.
and then again on a New York City / New Jersey transit. They try to mix it together, and they have like there's a real there's a rawness to the exchange.
Mm.
And in the third film, there was another one of those moments where the New York Continental Hotel, of which Sharon, played by Lance Reddick, was the concierge of, it looks like any ordinary high-class hotel. But when the high table had declared the New York Continental Hotel as deconsecrated, and they went and they started shooting it up, right?
Mm.
He is the one that leads the security team. And there's a moment where, he goes out there with a shotgun, and he pumps a few of these, mercenaries that are there. And then when he goes to take cover, there's a moment where, you can kind of see the fear,
Mm.
but the earnest in understanding that he had to defend this place with his life as the leader. And so when he goes to reload the shotgun,
Mm.
And Mrs. Evil knows exactly where I'm going with this. He's there with his back to the wall, and he reloads the shotgun. He takes a deep breath, and his hands are shaking as he goes to adjust his glasses, but he still has that look in his eye that I have to go out there and I have to put my life on the line. There's so many things I remember about the portrayals. In fact, I'm playing a game right now, Horizon Forbidden West, where he is a voice actor of a villainous character.
I mean, he's also
this loss hurts, man.
He's also known in the Destiny series as being in the Vanguard. Like very famous figure, and like I said, it's very sad news, and um, hopefully we can kind of figure out something to kind of honor the guy.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I'm a little.
You want to maybe kick back at this a little bit?
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I think that we made the point. I want you guys to know that this presentation here.
Yeah,
I think that you guys should know that that this is a presentation that is actually premium content on the site.
Mm-hmm.
And so I gave you guys a good understanding of like how you can have these conversations. And you guys have been really, really good.
No, it's been
about your section. Yeah. I mean, but you guys are always great, right?
Mm.
So you guys are, really great people to I mean, even when you guys are halfway joking, right?
Mm.
I didn't know that this was a $1,600 a month diabetes / weight loss drug. I had no clue. But you guys,
all right. Well, I mean, listen,
you guys
support
have been
the channel.
Yeah, you you guys, you guys have been really awesome. You guys have been really awesome. And, I think that we showed that, even for people who have a difficult time talking about money, when you're around people that you actually care about you, I mean, everybody that's in this live stream right now are people who've been, day one or near day one supporters of this platform. You guys have always been right there with us. And so it's almost like, again, we're creating like a family atmosphere here. And I think that we did a good job of, having a conversation about, something that's really difficult to talk about. I mean, maybe it doesn't feel so difficult to talk about because of who we are talking about these things with. But we also will hope that you experiencing it like this, you guys are talking about your opinions on money and your experiences with, I mean, we're kind of still strangers, right? I mean, but I think that this might make it easier for some of you guys to talk about these things. I think that people who might watch this later on
yeah, I mean, this is a very good conversation to have, especially when people within your life. I think no topic should be completely off the menu, and it's a quote unquote. But I think I want to say big appreciation for everyone coming by. The comment section's been awesome. Dialogue, the comments have been great, and we would appreciate it if you potentially like the Fireside stuff. Go look into the website. Maybe say that TSP sent you there because uh,
Absolutely.
because they have a
Definitely
lot
know.
of great.
Let Justin know. That you saw it here.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it's a great uh, little presentation. We'll obviously be doing more of these as time goes on, and yeah, I mean it's a lot of fun. And for the new subscribers that might watch this after the recording, I mean just go know we bring a lot of videos every week. While we might not always say something that you agree with, we here at the Talking Shit podcast love to have civil discourse and kind of come together. Well, we might not always agree. We might have to come down to agreeing to disagree. The conversation needs to be had because that is what is currently missing in today's society. Is just good, thorough conversations and talking to one another instead of screaming and shouting.
Mm-hmm.
So make sure to check it out. But I think we probably should get out of here.
Yep.
Give you a bit of time. So I'm
Yeah.
Captain Paul.
I'm Dr. Evil.
And you want me to say it the wrong way just to piss you off one more time?
Just one more time. Just as a note, we will be covering UFC 286 tomorrow, starting at 1 p.m. Eastern. So it would be nice if the people that can come through, because I know Jeremy Lewis has to work. It would be pretty cool if you guys can come by tomorrow. And I'm thinking that for some of the patrons, we might do something on the Discord like like a watch along of maybe some of the stuff that Lance was in, some of the movies he was in. That's something that we could probably do in the coming weeks. But we will be covering UFC 286, which features a championship match for the UFC welterweight title. Kamaru Usman versus Leon Rocky Edwards. So, yeah, thank you very, very much for joining us today. And yeah, we'll see you on the next one. Thank you.
Peace.